Hi, I'm on this side of the car now. Change of plans. I decided to. Right now, I can think of more of Inside Llewyn Davis, the latest Coen Brothers movie, and of course, like the Coen Brothers are gonna probably be at the Oscars, so this is my sort of me catching up more with the Oscar race. But yeah, Inside Llewyn Davis, the Coen Brothers return after 2 year like a 3 year hiatus after True Grit. It's basically it's basically a week in the life of Llewyn Davis, this sort of this folk singer before folk songs actually got really popular, and now this is just basically like him slumming through life, or him trying to make or break through this very just tricky part of his life, time of his life, where his ex-girlfriend, like this sort of former friend or lover of his, like she's pregnant with his child while she's with another man. He has to keep jumping from like dorming with the different friend because he has no home of his own. It's a running gag where like basically he's like, "What's your address?" Is like, I'd rather not say. He's basically broke. He needs to get his record out. Right, like it's like success for his album out. It's basically just like this journey of like the exploration into like the mind of artists per se, from like two of the biggest, like, greatest artists in history. And this movie's good. Of course it is. Well, it's a Coen Brothers movie. Of course it's like objectively it is good, and even subjectively to me it is a good movie. There is a lot of meat to this movie. But again, I like it's a tricky thing to say because I think it comes from like the movie's like this movie has such like this bitter attitude towards life, and that goes through seen through Oscar Isaac's character, who plays who plays the title character, and he plays with such a he plays this with such a dry sarcasm and bitterness towards like life and people around him, because like this is along the lines, this is like, again, time period wise, this is along the line, it's like 72 or something like that, and it's like, don't remember the exact year, but this is like just around the time where their equivalent of pop music's begin to rise. This is like pre Bob Dylan. And he's basically like, he's built his entire career off trying to make folk songs popular, and he used to have this partner with him before, but who earlier, like before the movie even starts, killed himself. And he's basically like lost between two worlds. Is like, because he cannot adapt to the changing landscape of music without compromising his own passions. But it is those very passions that he's dedicated himself so much to that's basically ruining his life right now. And it's a very interesting take on how this very interesting and bitter take from even from the Coens, about like how something you've dedicated your entire life to, all your passions, is like, it basically is turned against you, and you just kind of stuck with performing them just because it is your passion. But then like you're just mad because like your passion isn't helping you jack at all. And as part of the media Misfits and like dreams and work, is like it's a feeling that's very relatable, and it's sort of grounded by such a great performance by Oscar Isaac, who, like, objectively, he is a very unlikable character. It's like he's smooching off the generosity of people, of family and friends, and like he's not properly giving them, like, paying them back or even giving them proper respects. Like, he keeps cursing in his sister's house, even though she keeps saying not to, or he screams and shouts these professors he's drumming with. this. And also he loses their cat for some reason because he loses their cat and he has to keep carrying it around, or if he trades it in with another one by accident after he lost it, and it's but like Oscar Isaac, like that with plus his performance, because again, it's a very dry sense of humor, like attitude. It's a very relatable attitude, plus an attitude that, along with how the movie sort of frames his actions, is like you sympathize with him because you can understand that bitterness that comes with life, like when you're just angry at life for not properly sort of giving you credit where credit's due, or something, or stuff like that. And it's melancholy. It's kind of a sobering experience from the Coen brothers, who usually, like, their humor and like their sense of characters are more surreal and not exactly upbeat, but they're a little more they're a little more unrealistic than you're used to, and like we're used to than was shown in this movie. There still are a lot of surreal, like sort of surreal moments and characters. It's like it's probably one of the complaints of this movie, because like this complaint like my dad made a lot of, is like where like the ending and the beginning and the ending are exactly the same, but you can't exactly tell if it's like if it's something that happened, right, like it's something that's happening as one big narrative, or is like the whole middle is like a big flashback or something. Or is this something that repeats, like literally repeats, as like, or is this a flashback structure thing, or I'm sure it's very abstract because it's Coen Brothers. Again, it's one of those Coen Brothers movies, or is this like any art movie in general? Yeah, I guess. Yes, and oh yeah, before I forget, and like to sort of express like how despicable his character is, you have Carey Mulligan, who plays this former, I don't exactly say former Flame. They don't exactly specify who she is to him, or other than like this one time thing, but like she gives one of the most purely angry performances in this movie. Like whenever like she's on screen with Llewyn, she's always just mad at him. It's like, you're an asshole. Also, and she also is like and she always gives like, she reprimands him for like just not getting control of his life, or not properly, or not like being responsible or taking any responsibility. It's like, you should wear a condom. Like she gives one of the biggest takedowns in the movie. It's like we should always wear a condom. You should wear a condom on condom, and then like wrap in saran wrap or something like that. Yeah, and it's like, it's more like Carey Mulligan's kind of like an overrated actress in my opinion, but like, this is a performance where like I completely dig how you can like just see like the fire in her eyes and her blood boil when she sees this guy. It's like, I want to punch you, because you're an asshole. Also, and Justin Timberlake, and like she's married to Justin Timberlake, who's like, he's fine here. Is like, he's probably one of his more like very like sort of sedated, relaxed performances. And of course, he's a good singer in this movie. There's like this movie has a lot of good songs. It has the same soundtrack quality to a soundtrack that Oh Brother Where Art Thou did. It's from the same music producer, T-Bone, Oscar winner, Academy Award winning producer T-Bone. And it's hard to describe too much of a Coen Brothers movie without getting into too much detail, because again, a lot of Coen Brothers movies are very simple in terms of plot. There really is no plot in this movie. There's no like big twist or anything. Oh, big bad guy. This is basically just like, you have the central character and you just see him go through a time of his life in these weird scenarios. years are these very tough scenarios. There's like a big part of the middle is like where he basically gets a ride from John Goodman, who plays his paraplegic. He's not even an executive. He's just like this kind of crotchety, very in his own rays, like war vet or something. Something who has to be chauffeured around and cared for by Garrett Hedlund. And then he's very stoic and quiet, and he only has like 5 lines in the entire movie. Not to say he's like, not to say anything about his performance, which like, again, he sounds like the quiet stoic type, played very well. And John Goodman, well, he's John Goodman. If anything, he provides some of the film's more regular laughs. Like one of the is like again, a lot of the humor is played off by the cat, which again, it's about a cat like it's a symbol of both his like Llewyn's ability or inability to take responsibility, and also like it's a reflection of his own his own personality. Like there's a scene again when after he explodes towards like the people he's staying with, and like their cat that he took out, he accidentally got the wrong one, and the lady's like, it's probably with the film's biggest laugh. She just holds up the cat and goes, "Where's its scrotum?" Like that's a classic Coen with his line. Just say that out loud, out of context with anything, and people will just like freak out. But again, what can I say? It's a Coen Brothers movie. It's a movie that deserves to be seen because it's such. The Coen Brothers just have their own distinct sense of writing, of like a sense of humor and character, and a sense of tone, both tone. Here's like their tone, like it's so like it's so naturally Coen, but it's just, it has this bitter, very melancholy look on life, and the passions of the passions and sacrifices you go to for preserving your art, even whether or not you're that good or you perceive yourself to be really good, even though others may think you're not. Which is, again, it's weird coming from literally one of the most acclaimed filmmaking duos in the business. But it's definitely a movie worth checking out. It's not one of my favorites. It's not one of my favorite movies this year, but it's definitely something to look out for when it comes out. Final verdict. It's a Coen Brothers movie. Why wouldn't you see it? Well, unless you're not a Coen Brothers fan, which why are you watching us? No offense. Don't subscribe to us. But again, Oscar Isaac, Oscar worthy, yes, but I don't think like this year's competition is pretty tough. That I think he'll be overshadowed though, which will be a shame. But it's really good. Has some fantastic folk songs. I think my highlights of the soundtrack would be "The Death of Queen Jane" and "Please, Mr. Kennedy." But don't watch the movie first before you do the soundtrack, because everything's like this entire again. Jeremy and I made a point of movie soundtracks in the first Frozen review. Don't listen to movie soundtracks without watching the movie first, because the "Please, Mr. Kennedy" scene is really it's very intense. It's very it's like that's probably like one of the better scenes in this movie, because like it's both like funny, but it's funny, and how Oscar Isaac has to basically lie through his teeth, well, like and basically protesting against this song, but it's also such a really great catchy song because it's pop, and it's Justin Timberlake, like, and it's really good music, and yeah, check it out. Bye. Have a happy New Year.